You're at a neighborhood barbecue. Your neighbor Dave pulls up in a brand new BMW X5. Black. Shiny. That thing looks like it costs what some people make in 2 years. Because it does. Everyone turns their heads. Dave gets out, sunglasses on, smiling. And you think to yourself, man, Dave must be doing really well. Now here's what you don't know. Dave financed that BMW for 72 months at 7.4% interest. His monthly payment is $1,847. He has $11,000 in his savings account, and his retirement account hasn't been touched in 2 years because, quote, things are tight right now. Dave is performing wealth. Meanwhile, across the street, there's a silver Toyota Sienna sitting in the driveway. Nothing fancy, a couple of soccer ball stickers on the back, you barely notice it. The family that drives it, they've been quietly maxing out 2 Roth IRAs, fully funding a 529, and investing the difference in index funds every single month for the last 9 years. Their net worth just crossed $1.2 million, and nobody at that barbecue has any idea. That's what we're talking about today. If you're someone who feels the constant pressure to look successful, who's been tempted to upgrade your car because you feel like your vehicle is somehow a reflection of your value, I want you to stay with me, because in the next minutes, I'm going to show you 4 things. 1, the real math behind what luxury SUVs are actually costing you in long-term wealth. 2, why the Toyota Sienna is one of the most financially intelligent vehicles you can own in 2025. 3, the psychology of wealth signaling and how it's quietly destroying the financial futures of millions of middle-class families. And 4, a concrete framework you can use today to decide whether your vehicle is building your wealth or burning it. Let's get into it. Part 1. The math nobody shows you at the dealership. Okay, here's the thing most people don't realize when they walk into a car dealership. They're not buying a car, they're buying a monthly payment. And dealerships are experts at making that payment feel manageable. It's only $1,200 a month, that's what they'll tell you. Only. Let's talk about what only $1,200 a month actually means. A fully loaded BMW X5 in 2025 runs you about $78,000. Finance it over 72 months, which is what most people do now, by the way, because 60-month payments became too painful. At the average new car interest rate of 7.1% as of early 2025, according to Experian's State of the Automotive Finance Market report, you're looking at roughly $1,340 a month. Over 6 years, you pay approximately $96,480 for a car that by the end of that loan is worth somewhere around $28,000 to $33,000. You've burned through roughly $45,000 to $68,000 in depreciation and interest. Now let's look at the Sienna, a well-equipped 2025 Toyota Sienna XSE AWD hybrid, the good stuff, stickers around $52,000. Finance it at the same rate, same term, you're paying around $880 a month. The Sienna has one of the lowest depreciation rates in its segment. Toyota's hybrid powertrain has been documented to hold value at 52 to 58% after 5 years, versus 38 to 44% from most luxury SUVs in its price class, based on data from iSeeCars.com and Kelley Blue Book's 2024 depreciation analysis. But here's where it gets really interesting. That $460 monthly difference between the BMW payment and the Sienna payment, if you invest that in a simple S&P 500 index fund over those same 72 months at the market's historical average return of 10.1% annually, you accumulate roughly $37,400 just from the payment difference alone in 6 years. Now extend that. Keep driving the Sienna. Keep investing that $460 a month for 20 years instead of 6. At that same 10.1% average return, you're looking at $348,000 from one car decision. That's not theoretical. That's compound interest. That's the single most powerful force in personal finance, and most people are surrendering it at the dealership every 3 to 5 years without ever realizing it. Part 2. Why we choose status over wealth. Now, I want to be real with you, because this is the part that actually matters. The math isn't the hard part. The psychology is the hard part, because you already know on some level that a $78,000 BMW is not a financially wise decision if you don't have a $2 million portfolio.
You know that. But knowing and doing are completely different things when you're dealing with what behavioral economists call social comparison theory. Here's how it works. Humans are wired, evolutionarily, deeply wired, to assess our own status by comparing ourselves to the people around us. For most of human history, that comparison was limited to your village, maybe a few hundred people. Your brain was designed for that scale. Now, your brain is trying to benchmark itself against every car it sees on the highway, every Instagram post, every neighbor, every colleague, and it is losing its mind trying to keep up. Dr. Thomas Stanley, who spent decades studying actual millionaires for his landmark book, The Millionaire Next Door, found something that genuinely shocked the financial world when it came out. The majority of people driving luxury vehicles in America are not wealthy. They're people with above-average incomes who are allocating those incomes towards appearing wealthy rather than becoming wealthy. His updated research showed that the typical American millionaire, actual net worth over $1 million, drives a used or moderately priced vehicles. Ford F-150s, Honda Accords, Toyotas. And then there's the Toyota Sienna specifically. Look, minivans have a stigma. I get it. It's a dad car. It's boring. I'm not there yet. I've heard every version of this. But here's what I want you to sit with for a second. That stigma, that's the feature, not the bug. Nobody's going to pull up next to a Sienna at a stoplight and feel competitive. Nobody's going to ask you what you paid for it at a dinner party. Nobody is going to assume you're doing well based on your minivan. And that invisibility, that total freedom from the performance of wealth, creates something extraordinarily valuable: optionality. When you're not burning $1,300 a month on a vehicle, you have options. You can take the job you actually want instead of the one that pays the most. You can weather a layoff without immediately panicking. You can invest aggressively in your 30s and 40s when compound interest has the most time to work. The Sienna isn't a sacrifice. It's a strategic advantage disguised as a grocery getter.
Part 3. The Sienna's actual case. Why this specific vehicle? All right, now let me make the affirmative case for the Sienna specifically, because I don't want you thinking this is just about buy anything cheap. There are genuinely bad cheap cars that cost you in other ways. The Sienna is different, and here's why. Number 1, the hybrid reliability factor. The 2021 and later Sienna comes standard with Toyota's 2.5-liter hybrid powertrain, no gas-only option. That's actually really smart because it's not a hybrid in the traditional "we added a battery to complicate everything" sense. Toyota's hybrid system has over 25 years of real-world beta behind it. According to J.D. Power's 2024 Vehicle Dependability Study, Toyota ranks among the top 3 manufacturers in long-term reliability, and the Sienna specifically has one of the lowest maintenance cost profiles in the minivan segment. What does that mean in dollars? Consumer Reports estimates the Toyota Sienna's 5-year ownership cost at around $8,400 in maintenance and repairs, compared to $14,000 to $22,000 for comparable luxury SUVs like the BMW X5 or Mercedes GLE. That's a real difference. That's money that either goes to the mechanic or goes to your brokerage account. Number 2, the fuel economy math. The Sienna Hybrid gets approximately 36 mpg city, 36 highway. That's not a typo. A minivan getting 36 combined. Compare that to the BMW X5 xDrive 45e plug-in hybrid, which gets about 20 mpg once the battery depletes, and most people drive it in gas mode most of the time. At current average fuel prices around $3.40 a gallon as of early 2026, driving 15,000 miles a year, the Sienna costs you roughly $1,417 in fuel annually. The X5, around $2,550. That's another $94 a month. Invest that for 20 years at 10%, another $68,000. Number 3, cargo, space, and practical utility. Now, maybe you're thinking, Carl, I don't have kids. Why would I drive a minivan? Fair question, but here's the reality. The Sienna has 100 cubic feet of cargo space with the seats folded. A BMW X5 has 72 cubic feet. An Audi Q7 has 71. You can sleep in a Sienna on a road trip. You can haul furniture. You can transport a large dog, camping gear, 8 people, or all of the above. It is, by any functional measure, more vehicle for less money. Part 4. The cons.
I want to be straight with you because this would be a dishonest video if I didn't give you the other side. The Sienna has real disadvantages. 1. It's a minivan, and while I've made the case that the stigma is a feature, I want to acknowledge that the stigma is real. If your professional environment is one where how you show up matters in a visible way, real estate, certain sales roles, client entertainment, there are legitimate cases where a vehicle signals capability and opens doors. I'm not going to pretend that doesn't exist. 2. The Sienna's MSRP has crept up. At $52,000 and above for the well-equipped trims, you're not buying a cheap car. If you're financing this at full price, you're still taking on a significant monthly obligation. The smarter play, and I mean this, is to buy a 2 to 3-year-old certified pre-owned Sienna. The hybrid system holds up, Toyota's CPO warranty is excellent, and you can get into one for $36,000 to $43,000. That changes your monthly payment dramatically. 3. If you're single, live in a city, and your actual transportation need is a compact car, the Sienna is probably overkill in the other direction. I'm not saying every person should drive a Sienna. I'm saying match the vehicle to your actual life, not to your ego.
Part 5. The framework. 4 questions before you buy any car. Okay, here's the actionable part. Before you buy any vehicle, not just a Sienna, any vehicle, ask yourself these 4 questions. Question 1. What percentage of my monthly take-home pay does this payment represent? The rule most financial planners use, and I think it's solid, is that total transportation costs, including insurance, fuel, and payment, should not exceed 15% of your monthly take-home pay. If you're at 20%, 25%, you're vehicle poor. You're cash-strapped in a fancy car. Question 2. Am I buying this vehicle for function or for social validation? Be honest. This is the question that separates people who build wealth from people who perform it. If the honest answer is, I want people to think I'm doing well, that's important data. Recognize it. Then ask yourself whether the people you're trying to impress are even paying attention, because statistically, they're thinking about their own car payment. Question 3. What is the actual 5-year cost of ownership? Depreciation, fuel, insurance, maintenance, interest. There are excellent calculators at Edmunds.com and Consumer Reports that break this down by specific model. Run the numbers. The results are often genuinely shocking. Question 4. What would I do with the difference? This is the most important question. If you chose the more affordable vehicle, what would that freed up cash actually go toward? If the answer is, I'd probably just spend it on other stuff, then maybe you have a broader budgeting issue that a car choice alone won't fix. But if the answer is, I'd invest it, then quantify it. Literally calculate what that monthly difference becomes in 10 or 20 years. Make the future wealth feel real and concrete, because it is. So, here's what I want you to do right now. Pull up your bank statement. Find your car payment line, or if you own outright, your car's market value and what you spent on it. Then open a compound interest calculator, plug in the difference between what you're spending and what a smarter vehicle choice would cost you, and run it out 20 years. Let the number hit you. Let it be uncomfortable if it needs to be, because financial change doesn't happen from motivation. It happens from clarity. And once you see the real number, the number that your current vehicle choice is costing your future self, you can't unsee it. That's where decisions change. If this video gave you something to think about, share it with someone who needs to see it. And if you want to go deeper on the psychology of wealth-building decisions, not just vehicles, but housing, lifestyle inflation, all of it, subscribe, because that's exactly what we do here every week. I'll see you in the next one.